we cannot go through and assume that everyone handles situations the same way.
Right.
Because everyone's circumstances, everyone's past is not the same. So what actually may be a hard fall to you may not be a hard fall to me. What may be a hard fall to me may not be a hard fall to you.
What do you need improvement in?
Just want to go through and win.
What is the purpose of overthinking? You're taking care of your loved one. That's how you can increase your sales.
Hello, everybody. This is Ferris.
And this is Caleb Lenoir, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with the Homecare Guyz.
Caleb, man, how's it going, brother?
Hey, Ferris, how you doing, man?
Man, pretty good, brother. Man, it has been a great Labor Day weekend, brother.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I got a chance to do a little turn up, man. I did a little turn up, had some friends and stuff over. Did some fishing.
You caught anything?
Yeah, I caught a bluegill.
Okay, anything big, small?
Nothing, everything was just like a little brim. And just pretty much kind of had a good time relaxing. Did some hiking in nature and just kind of enjoyed my moment. How about you? What did you do for Labor Day?
Look, man, I just chilled. But when you said hiking, it just kind of reminded me of this. There was a TikTok or Instagram that I saw where this lady, she was outside and this rabbit fox came and started attacking her.
A rabbit fox?
Or like had rabies.
A raccoon?
No, had rabies. No.
Okay.
Fox that came and actually attacked her. Just Fox was going crazy and kept going on. And I think her husband came outside and was beating it with a baseball bat or something. But man, because foxes are normally they're in the woods. They don't come touch people. And I just thought about when you said hiking. I remember I was up at the house and I saw a few baby foxes out there. Were you hiking out in the woods?
Well, no, a little bit, yeah. But I had a golf club.
Okay.
So I said, just in case something does come out, I got that golf club. I'll be like, boy, right there, knock them out. That's a titanium golf club, so you got
good. So it ain't gonna break.
Oh no, it ain't gonna break. I said, listen, some gonna break, but it ain't gonna be this golf club.
Man, last weekend, what did I do for Labor Day? Labor Day weekend, went to Dragon Con, bro.
How was that? You know, I saw a lot of people downtown Atlanta, man, dressed up in those different costumes. I'm like, Dragon Con is officially here.
Guys, if you have not checked out Dragon Con, it's typically on Labor Day weekend every year. It lasts about 3 or 4 days. I think Monday was the last day. Right. But we stumbled upon it a few years ago, just when our daughter was like 1 year old, not even 1 year old.
Who all went? You and
me, Mel, and the kids.
Really?
Yeah. And so we went down there, just saw everybody in all their little costumes. There were some very creative costumes out there, and it was a huge event. Like all the hotels were full. It was just really cool. Like Lena loves Star Wars, so she got a chance to see a few of her Star Wars characters and everything. It was just really cool. After that, we went and ate on the Beltline.
Oh, nice.
On the Beltline and ate at this Mexican restaurant, which was really good and just kind of chill, man. It was a really chill
Well, that's
weekend.
what's up. I saw a big teddy bear just walking around downtown Atlanta. I'm like, listen, I love it. I love the people. You know what? You have to be really, really free spirited, especially to go to like a Dragon Con, because they come in the wildest costumes. But it's just so fun that they just let their hair down for a few days or so.
It is everybody
well, it's a lifestyle for them though.
I want to do it 1 year. I want to dress up as I don't have a favorite character, but I want to dress up as Batman.
I'm down. I want to get these, like, listen, I see you working out, but I want to get these muscles, and I'll come in as like a Black Panther. Like I will be like, listen,
Wakanda forever.
Dude. So I'm excited about that. And then one more thing before we get started, have you seen the trailer for Black Panther?
No, it's supposed to be coming out. I heard
the trailer. Have you seen the trailer though?
Crazy.
Oh man, the trailer is amazing,
dude. No, okay, I didn't see the trailer for Black Panther. I saw a trailer for. It was some, I think, with Viola Davis.
Okay, it's like Warrior Kings or Warrior Queens or something like that. Warrior Queens.
But for Black Panther, it's supposed to be really good.
Oh, it's amazing, man.
Oh man, are they filming it in Atlanta?
Yep. I think they're filming it in the Tyler Perry Studios.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm excited about that. Like, it should be coming out in November.
Okay.
And so, you know, when we move to our new space and all this other stuff like that for our headquarters office, which we got a headquarters office. Yeah. Super excited about that. But once we do that, I want to do like a big gathering for like some, just a good meet and greet for some of my referral sources. I think that'd be great.
I think I've heard over the radio once a few weeks ago about this coming out, and heard a lot of people are going to get back into costumes. They're going to go through. It's going to be a whole event. Atlanta's going to be on lock.
And the inside scoop is to wear white too. Have you heard about that? Because one of my we just talked about that actually for Labor Day. My friend Amma said that everyone's supposed to be dressing up in white in the ceremony for Chadwick.
Ooh, that's
gonna be good, right? So
that's gonna be cool.
So
man.
Yeah, that's gonna be. in celebrate in honor of Chadwick that Boston is it Boston? Boseman. Thank you, Zach. Chadwick Boseman that died. So they're gonna be everyone is dressed in white. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a whole kind of themes vibe.
I bet I can imagine different attire. I bet a lot of like kente cloth. Well, probably not kente cloth, but a lot of different African attire,
garbs, and jewelry and.
But these are these not once in a lifetime, because it has happened before. But these are these times where you take advantage. They have fun. I think it's just
let your hair down, have a good time, and just get all in the vibes. But it's gonna be good though. But let's jump into our episode today.
Yeah,
we really jumped into it. So we're gonna the name of this episode is Find Your Bounce Back. There's so many, especially life. When life gives you lemons, bruh, you got to figure out how to make lemonade, and so you really do. And so in order to find your bounce back, there's so many life circumstances that we face on a day to day, especially even as regular people, and then as entrepreneurs that we face on. And so let's talk about some of those things that can probably set you back. Let's talk about that first, and then we can figure out a way on how to bounce back from those things.
Caleb, when I think about life circumstances and situations, I know some situations come because it's just piss poor planning. Like, hey, I didn't plan for this, and it just happens, and you have to deal with it. Other circumstances or life situations happen when it's just unexpected, and those are those ones where a bounce back is really needed. Because I think a lot of times when you think of like the ultimate thing, you think about death, like especially all of a sudden death or a tragic death. You don't think about, oh my gosh, I didn't get to say goodbye. I didn't get to say I love you. I didn't get a chance to see this person farewell. We didn't get a chance to do life together. Those are those type of things where I think a bounce back, oh my gosh, it can be difficult. It can be difficult, and I don't want to go through and actually underestimate or minimize what a bounce back can be, because I think a lot of times people go through different situations, and we can easily say, well, just get up and go get your bounce back and just keep rocking and rolling.
It doesn't happen like that.
But it doesn't happen like that because we're human.
Yeah,
we're people.
There's grieving processes. There is denial. There is acceptance. There's a lot of things that happen throughout the process, and it could take a while to get that. That's really challenging, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're running a business and you have something like that happen, something unexpected. It can really throw you for a loop because you got so many responsibilities, and then you have added stress on that. Are you taking the time to really truly grieve on a death of a loved one or a death of a spouse or something like that? And that's a lot.
Hey you, you. Are you taking care of an elderly or disabled loved one in your own home? Then I've got some news for you. Hello, I'm Crystal DeForest, and I'm a health coach with Homecare Homecare. I have been with them for a year now, but for the past 2.5 years, Homecare Homecare has been helping some individuals take care of their loved ones that are elderly or disabled in their own home and getting them paid. If you would like to find out some more information on that and to see if you qualify, then give me a call at 706-540-3847. Remember me for SFC. Call Crystal at 706-540-3847.
Another bounce back could be, even if you lost a job, just anywhere in general. I remember back in the day when even now, it was back in when they were doing with the recession, when a lot of those white collar worker jobs were being lost. The banking industry was just total upside down. And so a lot of people lost jobs. A lot of family members did. A lot of those supporters, the breadwinners. And so they lost a job and they were devastated. Some people were killing themselves because they couldn't handle the pressure. And so when you have those moments like that, those are defining moments that really say, either you're going to bounce back or you're going to kind of fall into the depression stage of, just kind of like figuring out that thinking that there's no way out. And so that's another area that, that's another area that people, tend to not kind of bounce back. Or something.
And kind of, I think one thing when I think of bounce backing, I think of the support that's needed during that process. And I think a lot of times what happens is we cannot afford to wait until something tragic happens or something like a loss of job or whatever it may be. It's so important to have a circle, whether it be family, friends, or whatever. It's so important to have a circle that's encamped around you so that if or when something happened, the fall is a little bit softer, and it's less time on the ground when it comes to actually bouncing back. I think that one thing that I have to do a little bit better on is actually building up my circle, like my circle of my homeboys. Like we go back for a long time. We don't chat and stuff like that on a day-to-day basis, but we know we good. Or we assume that we know that we're good. I say like that. Mm-hmm. But we've all been in circumstances where we hit the ground, like almost like a basketball. It goes up and it comes down, and we had each other's back to go through and support as we go up as well. So I think that friendship circle, that family circle, is so important to have, especially when certain circumstances happen.
Yeah. How do you, like, if you get to this space where there is a loss or a loss of a job or death of a loved one or really something tragic happening in your life, like, and you just feel like at your lowest of the lowest, like what are some of the first steps you feel like you need to do in order to bounce back?
I think me personally, I think it depends on different people, because I think a lot of times people, we cannot go through and assume that everyone handles situations the same way. Right. Because everyone's circumstances, everyone's past is not the same. So what actually may be a hard fall to you may not be a hard fall to me. What may be a hard fall to me may not be a hard fall to you. I think one thing that I do is I reflect on, I do a lot of reflection. I go through and reflect on some of my good times. I go through and reflect on what it would be like after I get up, and I go through and focus on those things. I think a lot of times when we're down, we can focus so much on being down instead of looking up and saying, okay, well, hey, this is where I'm going. Fortunately, life has not dealt with me any major tragedies where I can go through and say, well, this is what I've done. But I've had situations where I was down, but I looked up when I was down to get up as well. I
like that. So you really focus on, you say you focus on the good moments, and then you focus on what your future will look like, correct, what you're expecting your future to look like. And then that motivates you to get up.
Exactly.
I think that's good. Because I think when you're down, you mainly focus on all of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and all the negative moments, and you really get to a point where you get so even more depressed, and you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to do all these things, but you're saying change your focus, change your perspective, and focus on the positive. Yeah. And even though it's going to be a struggle to kind of get up, but at least you're motivated a little bit to even get up because you're anticipating what the future is going to hold.
Caleb, I remember one time when we were in business where our business was up, and then we saw it curve down a little bit.
All the way down.
And we were like, that was one of those times where when you have so much responsibility, because it's not us. It's the family members that depend on us. It's the caregivers. It's the team members that depend on us. And I think one thing that
can we dive into that moment, because I think that was a really crucial moment for us. We came back into the business, and we were definitely a successful business. We provided, I think, services close to 250, 300 members a year, and so it was a lot. And then it just was, we were upside down. Definitely financially.
Exactly. And one thing during that down process was actually just realizing that we were up and we're down. It was depressive, because it's like you work so hard for something and you let it slip through your fingers. Right. And then but even while during that down period, when I say I looked up, it took a lot of prayer, it took a lot of faith, it took a lot of work. But I knew that, I wasn't going to stay down. It's like a basketball. If a basketball is inflated, it's going to bounce. It cannot stay down. Right. It cannot stay down.
That's just the law.
Because I realized the situation wasn't dead. I realized the business, though it was down, it wasn't dead. And I realized that I had to put more air in the business. What was that air? That air was work. That air was attention. That air was communication. That air was a rebuilding. And I think that's one thing that we did. We was like, okay, it's time to go through and inflate this business back again. Let's go through and actually make this ball bounce, because we're going towards something great. And I kept focusing every mile that we put on our cars. Everything we did was, I was focusing on that greater day. It was like, you know what? I know it's not going to set this forever, because I know the work we did in the past. Now we're just going to do the same thing and then appreciate that even more and watch it happen again.
Yeah, and it eventually turned around. I think it probably took us a good, probably a year or so, like a good year and a little bit. But it started to work out. It started to work out. And so, if you always say this, begin with the end in mind. Yep. And so you always pretty much think about the ending and think about what the future is. Don't look at the current state. And some of those sayings that we hear, I know one of the saying I used to always hear about whenever you're down is from Chaplain Cummins, Chaplain Rebecca Cummins. She said, "Tough times don't last, but tough people do."
Look,
that's a true thing. You know, tough times don't last. You know, you're gonna have some tough moments. You know, you're gonna have some tough days, but they don't last all. You're gonna have some happy days as well. So tough time don't last, but tough people do. So you got to be tough and have some tenacity to endure through those moments of hardships.
Caleb, when you said that, I think about, and you can think about, I know everyone have points in time in life where the struggle was real, whether it been the 2008 recession when people lost houses, right, whether it been stock market crash, whether it been loss of a job, whether it been COVID-19 that just happened.
Losing loved ones there.
Losing loved ones. There's a lot of situations we can go back and reflect on, but just like you said, tough times don't last. That COVID-19 cannot last forever. Right. A recession cannot last forever. The death of a loved one, the sorrowness cannot last forever, but the tough people. And I guess one of my questions is like that toughness. Like, where do you, when you said that statement, where do you get your toughness from? Where do you pull from?
Well, I think just truthfully, you know, I think there's moments of, there's moments of being vulnerable, and there's moments of weakness as well. I have not mastered that at all. I don't think I have an A+ in that because I'm dealing with things, each and every day. Yeah. But I think that, like you said, I mean, looking toward better days in the future. I think that's a big thing that would allow you to kind of gear you on the right track in order to come out of this hole, and realizing that being in this hole, like what your days, you can go through days and hours. You be like, what did I do today? What did I do this whole week? My mind was on this situation or on this circumstances, and I don't feel accomplished. And one thing about me, I want to feel accomplished throughout my days. I want to feel like I handled, and I had some solutions. I had some outcomes. I measure, how I began in my week versus how I ended my week. Correct. And so I'm an outcome driven person. And so I think that always motivates me to get up, because these last 6 hours, I really didn't do anything. 'Cause I'm in the same space. I didn't learn anything. Correct. I didn't study. I didn't put in an application. I didn't do anything. And so I'm in the same situation. And so in order for me to emerge out of that situation, you have to put some work into it.
So do something. And that's your bounce back is you realizing that, okay, even if you're in a slump,
I'm stuck.
If you're stuck,
right,
you're getting yourself unstuck.
Yeah, I'm in a bog. Yeah,
exactly. You get and you know what it feels like to be unstuck. Right, and you know that, okay, well, hey, and I think it's so important to be self-aware that okay, well, hey, I'm going through this tough time. I'm going through a period where I'm like, you know what, it may not feel right, it may not be right, and then the reality of it is, it may be that situation that needs that bounce back. It may be the situation that's very down and dire, but again, just like I said, once you know yourself, you'll be able to go through and see, do I need friends around? Do I need to be by myself? Do I need to work a little bit more? Do I need to pray a little bit more? Do I need to sleep a little bit more? Do I need to, what environment's going to go through and get me out of this? But that comes through self-awareness.
I want to talk to some of those companies before we end, Fair. Some of those companies that, were thriving before COVID-19 and now, their businesses has really gone down. I know a friend of mine, we talk often, and the business is not doing as well as it was prior COVID. And so what are some things that what are some suggestions that we could do to tell them to bounce back in this season of when their business was thriving before COVID-19, and either they're losing people or a lot of people not making the sales that they buying the products that they need. What are some things that you can? What are some words of words of confirmation to help them get out of this hole?
It's funny. I just wrote a piece this morning about processes, and process. Life is a process. Life is a process, and the processes are here to go through and teach us. Like I wrote in this piece this morning. Like, even though I desired, when I was 12 years old, I desired to drive. It would have been irresponsible for my mom to go through and say, "Here are the keys to the car. Go drive." I had to go through the process of learning how to drive. I had to go through the process of having a flat tire to learn how to go through and change the tire. I had to go through the process of being in an accident to know and how to respond. Life is not perfect. life is not perfect at all. But my thing is, I look at life as a process. It's like, if we're going to get better skills, like now I know if for some reason my tire on my right side go off, not to go through and start going here, because I've been in that situation. Now I'm skilled at knowing how to go through and handle when life does not happen the way I want it to happen. So I would encourage individuals that are going through a process right now, whether it be in business, family, relationship, or whatever, if for some reason life is not where you desire it to be right now, this is just a process. Go through the process. There's something that you need to learn throughout this process right now, so that now, if or when something else happens again, hey, when that tire goes out, you can still go through and keep on going. You can guide it to the side, change that tire, and get back on a little bit quicker as well. So I think that's my word of encouragement to those people that are going through that situation.
I like that. That's brilliant. That's brilliant, Ferris. Well, there you have it. Another great episode with the Homecare Guyz. Find your bounce back.
Yeah.
We definitely want you to follow us on all of our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, as well as Instagram, Facebook, right? YouTube, exactly. And then definitely subscribe to our Spotify channel. Definitely Spotify is Conversations with the Homecare Guyz. We do weekly episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.
Got it. And guys, we will love your support. So if you like this episode, of course, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. Of course, tell someone else about it as well, because this is a conversation not just for us, not just for you and I and Caleb. It's for us as a community, for us to go through and spread the word about life. We're doing life together. We're definitely passionate about entrepreneurship, home care, and motivation. These are the things that we desire to go through and come to your kitchen table every week with great content on as well. So again, just like Caleb said, make sure you tune in each week, Tuesday and Thursday, and tell someone else about it. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys next time.
Take care.